getting bolts in the gasket in.
Okay.
Just because they're in the way already.
Okay, so we're just gonna install the hoses to get them out of the way then, eh?
Yeah. Alright, it's basically lined up. We're just gonna...
It fits! Check it out! Shiny new water pump. Just making sure it's tight enough. Don't want it to get all wobbly on me while I'm driving. Do you by chance have any idea what a torque like that would go to?
Nope, I haven't.
Okay, doke. We'll find out.
It's not going to much. 2 passes in sequence at 8.9 foot-pounds, 12 millimeters. Okay.
So basically 9 foot-pounds.
Yep.
And we got to go from AB all the way around a couple times.
Yep. I'm thinking, but I'm going to double check it. Good there.
That was a success. We got the water pump in, eh?
Yep. Yep. Which is really the whole start to this operation.
Yeah, I mean, the water pump was the worst part of it. I mean, except for that one bearing that you found, but almost done, and it's only hour 3. Yeah, that is the timing belt.
I think I remember where they all were supposed to be, but I
Okay.
could have the order wrong, so I'm just gonna...
Just kind of get them on there.
Yep.
We need those on there anyways before we can even get the belt on, so be pretty tricky to put a belt on without any gears or pulleys. Alright, we're putting in the tensioner now.
Good for your home.
Time to go home there, Ball.
Son of a bitch, Ball, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
You're too good for your home, go in your home!
Well,
Check it, all shiny-ish.
that was a small one, that's right.
Give her.
Okay, so the reason this is pivoting so much right now is because the belt's not in. When the belt's in, it's going to be here pushing upward on this, and when we pull the pin out, the piston is going to extend there, and it's going to push downward on the belt and take up the slack in the belt.
Okay, and that's what keeps it tight.
Yeah.
We're just making sure that we're torquing everything to spec. Don't want to forget anything. The torque is 28.8 foot-pounds, he says. I feel like an echo. Get it to focus? Here, let me see. I know I can. 28.8. Oh, it vibrates too?
Oh yeah. Okay, so there are marks on this belt that are going to line up to those timing marks on the
Oh, okay. And so, like,
the pulley.
this is going to line up in a specific spot. That's going to line up in a specific spot.
Spots we're lining up.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the dotted ones are for the...
The dotted one is the crank, and then the solid lines are going to be the cams.
Okay.
There and there.
Okay.
So we're going to throw this belt on.
The cams are what's on the side. Sides. Ooh, almost knocked that over. And the crank is in the middle.
Yep.
With this big nut on it.
Bolt.
Bolt.
Alright, so we got a mark on the crank. So that's where we're going to put our dotted line.
And theoretically from there, as long as everything lines up,
Then we should be golden, yep.
then it should be. We'll get it all lined up and then we'll put the cover on the top of that on.
Yeah, I think we got this backwards.
Ah! Just flip it around. Dotted line goes back on the crank.
Go back around. That's looking much better already.
Okay, I'll hold this still. Wow, that wind is crazy out there.
Alright, that's a good sign.
When things line up, it is usually a good sign. Notice how it says racing? Gotta remind anybody who sees it. It's a racing belt, so it's a race car.
All it takes is a belt.
All it takes is a belt to make a car a race car. Trust me. We're learning. 3 horses. Okay, I'm gonna trade spaces with you.
And then same thing, I'm gonna put a mark on the front of the belt.
Okay, because you can only see that one side of it. That's what he's talking about right here, this little red spot. So, because he can only see that right there rather than the outside of it.
Oh, now I need a wrench.
Now you need a wrench. Finally got it in.
Title of your sex tape.
It's looking so good. We're just making sure everything's all lined up now.
That's there.
This is where it needs to be on the bottom right. Not too bad. Because, yeah, that one on the bottom right there is lining
that's
up.
good. That's good. And that's lined up with that mark. Yep, that's good.
Sure is.
That is good. And that is good.
Dude. Did it.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is
Okay, so it got rotated twice. It got rotated twice, and what are they called again? The timing not
timing marks.
The timing marks. I was gonna say timing notches because I'm a noob. Timing marks are where they need to be. Slap. That went on. And so this, and then
a big balancer again.
the big balancer.
Yeah, well, holes sticking out. From
This-
the interior that did not go back in.
Piece next.
Yeah, these or that, it doesn't matter.
Okay. These ones are pretty much ready for you. I'm just gonna get the one more in.
Nah, okay.
Nah, fuck it. Who needs covers? What do you think the torque's supposed to be for that?
I can tell you. It's not high.
Not high? It's not what it was?
No, definitely not.
Dude, that... Remember when we tried to stick the 2 little pins in there?
Mm-hmm. $34.7 foot-pounds.
Yeah, there was no way that was 37 last.
There was something on the thread. I cleaned them off.
No, I
There was
did-
something on the thread.
I didn't notice you clean off the threads. But yeah, that was definitely on there, like way more than what it was supposed
Okay,
to be.
you can put the rad together. Put your fans back on.
Sweet! And my rad is done. Do you want to explain what we did, how we did it? This was genius, really. Because we don't have any Subaru tools, so this actually kind of was genius, because that's the stretch belt that we just put on there.
So to get a stretch belt on this, I tie strapped around the crank pulley through these holes. I had to take the crank pulley off to get the tie straps around it, and I strapped the belt to the crank pulley, and we put it over top of this one, and we put the tie straps about here, and then we just turned the pulley over and it forced the belt to go onto the crank pulley.
And that is my alternator and power steering belt. The stretch belt is for the AC, I learned.
Why though?
Everything's a stretch belt today.
Really? That's how you want to be.
Nice. Almost all back together. So, see how it's shiny on that bolt right there compared to right there? That just shows how stretched my previous belt was, because that's where it was in order to be tight with my previous belt. And it took pretty much nothing.
I'm fairly good on keeping the car clean here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just gotta kind of fold up in past there. Okay, so in the bottom of the rad, there's two little legs. We just gotta make sure they go into their holes here. So there.
Oh, I see it. Just too late.
There. We need to fish around in that drain bucket.
So it's all back together. I hope this video turns out pretty much all right. Randy's the guy. I'd recommend him to anybody. He's just getting the hoses put back in, and then we're going to screw everything down, put other hoses in, and do fluid top-ups. So the only fluid that's needed is the coolant. I'm going to do an oil change, but I've already made a video to that if you want to see how to do an oil change on a 2011 WRX. There it is. My phone's about to die. Have yourselves a good one. Thank you for watching. Peace, guys.